Hi guys, hope you're well. Today's video is going to be all about homecomings from deployment. So I thought, because we're about just under 2 weeks away from Rob coming back from a 6-month deployment, he's in the Royal Navy, and yeah, he's been away since the summer, and we're now in January. I thought it would be interesting to just sort of speak and say how I'm really feeling about him coming back, because obviously you're so excited, but there's a whole other side to it that I don't think gets talked about very often. So I thought it would just be maybe interesting, or mainly for other people that are in the same boat, to let them know, literally, that wasn't meant to be a pun, that they're not alone and that I'm feeling the same. And yeah, I'm going to try and not go on and on and on, but it's just a funny feeling. It's a very funny feeling. You're like very excited but very apprehensive at the same time, because 6 months is a long time to be apart from someone. I feel like this time as well, this deployment's been very different from his last deployment we did when Lachlan was nothing. He was in my tummy. I was going to say he was 0 years old. I was pregnant with him, and then Rob deployed when I was 6 months pregnant, and then came back when, is that right? Yeah, and then when Lachlan was 3 months old, he came back. And what I did was I worked up until obviously my maternity leave down here where we live, and then I went up to Scotland to stay with my family. So for the last 3 months of that deployment, I had a lot of support. I was at my parents', I had sort of friends, really old friends, great friends round about. And it was just a very different experience from this time. Obviously having a newborn and being pregnant and sort of having the aftermath of just having a baby and your husband going away again is very difficult, don't get me wrong, but I do genuinely think I feel that this time was harder, and I can't quite put my finger on why. There's probably lots and lots of different reasons, mainly I guess the ages the kids are at. Isla was a lot easier to comfort and things last time because she was only 2, whereas now she's 4, she understands a lot more, so it's been harder to sort of figure out what's best to do for her. So we've tried all sorts. We've tried like countdown boards, lots of activities that the military have given us to do with them, and sent stuff and sent letters and recorded videos, all sorts of stuff this time round, because she gets it more and she's more aware of the time factor too and how long it is. So that's been more difficult in that sense, but at the same time she's also been great because she's been great company to me. She's so much fun. She's such a little character. So is Lachlan as well now. He's been lots of fun and keeping me on my toes too, but it's just been so different. And obviously when Rob went last time, Lachlan was a teeny tiny newborn, didn't move around, didn't cause too much chaos or anything, but this time he's a walking, talking 2-year-old. So I don't know, maybe the balance of having those two at those ages is harder on your own than having a 2-year-old and a newborn. So that was one factor that's made me feel like this has been a lot longer and a lot more hard going than last time. Then obviously just being on my own down here, lots of support from lovely friends and things like that, but just not quite the same as having like your mom and dad down the road. So hey ho, just a bit different. We've had a few incidents, is that a good word, this deployment as well. Lachlan's ended up in hospital twice, which was difficult, very difficult. It sort of makes you realise how much you need to have a support network when things go wrong like that, when you're on your own with the kids. Just in terms of like childcare for Isla, well, I had to be in hospital with Lachlan, and just trying to balance all that. That's been really difficult. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it, but that's another factor. I'm just trying to explain all the factors that have made this deployment feel a little bit harder and longer than the last one. Obviously, sort of not midway through, maybe 4 months in, we got 5 days in Dubai with him, which was great, which we didn't get last time because I was too pregnant to go out. So that was great, and it went a lot better than I was expecting. That sounds awful. I just thought the kids would be knocked a bit more than they actually were, but no, they really enjoyed their time with their dad, and they came away quite well from it. Like, they weren't too emotional. I thought it might put them back to square one, and we'd have to deal with the sort of waves of emotion, like the really intense emotions that come with the kids when they first realise their dad's not coming back for a while. But no, they've been so great. I've been so proud of them, so really glad we did that. That was lovely 5 days. And then obviously those first 4 months felt very long, and then these 2 months after that have gone a bit quicker. We've had Christmas and New Year and lots of fun plans and things going on. So yeah, it has felt faster this side. Oh, hello Cosmo. But the other side has felt much longer than last time. So that's a bit of a background of where we've been and what's been going on. I work, so I've been working. Loads of things have changed this time as well. We've had a lot of big moments that poor Rob's missed out on, like Isla starting school. Lachlan talks a lot more, he does a lot more. He's in that stage where he went from 1 to 2, where there's a lot of development and a lot of change that I feel Rob's missed out on a lot more this time than he did last time, which is really sad. I also think he struggled a lot more this time. I feel like he's really felt it, really felt it. So I've been trying to support him the best I could too. So it's just been a very different ball game, but we're almost at the end. So I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about the feelings about the homecoming too. So I'm so excited, don't get me wrong, like I just can't let myself believe it's happening. I think that's one thing that's holding me back from like shouting from the rooftops and doing like a dance every 5 minutes, but it just doesn't feel real. I feel like this is life now. I feel like solo parenting, being with the kids, doing everything day in, day out. Oh, Cosmo, are you drinking my old water from last night? I need to put that downstairs. It's just, it's been so long, so it just feels like this is life now, and I just can't truly let myself believe he's coming home. And then he gets, was it about 3-ish weeks off when he gets back, so that'll be really good. We've not made too many crazy plans like we did last time. Last time I was on maternity leave, so we had more scope to plan lots of stuff, but obviously I've only got a certain amount of holidays. Isla's at school now, so we've not made any wild plans for him coming back, any like trips away, or I think we did Centre Parks last time. Yeah, we did Centre Parks last time. So it's just gonna be really interesting to see how it all slots back together again. Our routines have completely changed. Everything's so different, and that's what I think, that's where the apprehension comes from, the worry that you don't want to have. You don't want to feel any sort of negative, not there's a fully negative emotion, don't get me wrong, but you don't want to feel any sort of negativity around something you've been waiting so long for, but it creeps back in, like it creeps in, and you start thinking, oh my goodness, what if things aren't the same? What if we've both changed so much? What if, and it's all these like silly thoughts, but they're there, and you get so used to being independent and being on your own. And I felt like this every time he's gone away. When he comes back, it's horrible to say it, but there is a slight bit of almost resentment, because you're like, no, this is my thing. I do this. You've left me for this amount of time. Not that it's their fault, and I'm not. I'm so proud of what he does. I can't tell you how proud I am of him and everybody he works with and everybody in the military, because they're just amazing. So it's not resentment in the sense that, oh, you left me to swan off and do whatever. It's not that. It's just, I don't know, it's just, it's a feeling, like a very natural feeling that comes that you don't want to have, but you do have. You kind of think, oh my goodness, it's been so tough. I've done this, this and this. You've only had to look out for yourself. You've just had to get up, go to work, do whatever, whereas I've had to do this. And it takes a lot to sort of squash that down, and that's what I'm working on, and that's what I'm doing, because I don't want to be negative or moany or anything when he comes back. I definitely don't at all. It's just a feeling that's just there, and you just want to get rid of it and be like, no, this is a great thing. Let's just be really happy. And yeah, like I said, you worry that you've changed loads. You want to worry that they might come back and not like you anymore. That sounds really silly saying it out loud, but you do, like all these silly thoughts go on in your head, and you don't get as much contact with like military deployments as you do as maybe someone just going away for business or that. We don't get a lot of FaceTime. When they're at sea, it's just emails. So sometimes you can go a while without actually speaking, or it's very quick conversations, or very rushed conversations, or it's all about the kids because they're the most important thing. So you do worry that when you come back together, you'll be like, oh my goodness, what if like we've changed so much that it's not gonna work anymore? And that's very extreme, and like not anything I'm expecting at all, but it's just something to voice, because I know it's so common. I've spoken to so many other military partners and they say the same things. You're so excited to get them back, but as soon as they come back, you have that really small honeymoon period, then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, you're here, you're doing the wrong thing, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right, and you just, maybe subconsciously, because you do feel a bit like, oh, I've been left for this amount of time, you do subconsciously try to pick on things just to start a bit of a niggle, which is horrible. And I feel better sort of saying it out loud to try and stop myself from doing that at all, because you just want it to be a really happy occasion. You want everything to fall back into place and everything be super amazing and super happy and sunshine and rainbows. So I don't know, I just thought it'd be interesting to sort of speak it out. Oh, it sounded like the cat just fell over something. Oh, she's chasing something. So this big noise. So that's about it really. I didn't want to ramble on for too long. I probably could speak for another 5 minutes, but I'm conscious this is about 10 minutes long. What is she doing? Oh, she's gone down the stairs now. Yeah, just another little insight into sort of deployments and military life and things like that for you guys. But if you have any questions, pop them below. I've probably not covered half of what I wanted to say because I've made no notes. I just kind of turned my camera on and was like, I'll just have a quick chat, see what happens. So yeah, thank you very much for watching if you've gone to the end of this. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and have a really lovely day. Thanks for watching. Bye!